Oh man, what a gorgeous day today, man. We're in the 70s. All the trees are blooming for spring and all that type of stuff. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous day in here in Amherst, Massachusetts. Hi, I'm Hubby with Just About Anything Garage, and welcome to the video. We're going to continue on with Ghost. And what are we going to do? Well, we got to get those brakes fixed that we discovered we had an issue with in the last video when we were getting the power steering pump put on, okay? And I just noticed as I was starting to do that, let me show you something. There she is, right there, right? Do you notice how she's dipping over on the passenger side a little bit, and how much lift arm I have over here versus over here? My goodness. We were playing with it, so as we were turning the wheels back and forth, it caused it to walk. I didn't realize it until after I got it up and got the tire off and got the caliper off. We're going to talk about that. That's what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do here. How we're going to fix it. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to throw the tire back on this thing. We're going to get it back down and we're going to reposition it and get it up on the lift. And I will go do that off camera because that's, you know, you've seen me put this up on the lift 100,000 times before, and you don't necessarily need to see me with all that. We'll get it down, we'll get it straightened out, and then we'll go jump right in and we'll talk about what we're going to do with the brakes, what we think we need to do. We'll talk about what I discovered when I pulled this caliper off, how we're going to take care of it, and all that type of stuff. So you guys just hang on tight. We'll be right back once I do the job correctly and get this thing lined up. All right, be right back. Okay, much better. A lot more straight, a lot more even. It's sitting level, it's not tilting. Got it back up, obviously. Got the tire off. I hate those rims, by the way. It's got the insert nuts. You know what I'm talking about, right? Let me show you. With the washers, these babies here, where they go into the thing and then you put the washer on it to press it down. I hate those types. I much prefer standard rallies like this with the Acorn styles. Put the ring, clean up the trim ring, and put the caps on it. That's what we're going to go with this. Okay, but here we are. A couple things we'll talk about while we got this up as we start to do this is, first off, I pulled the pin out of this. I noticed it was wobbly. I was hoping it wasn't ball joints. It isn't. They got grease in it. You can feel it. Although I do need to clean up the Zerks. You can grease at least the bottom one. The top one doesn't look greasable, but the bottom one does. But anyways, look at this castle nut. It's loose by finger. I mean, this thing is, it's wobbly. It's, you know, there it goes. You can see it. So we're gonna have to check those bearings, and we'll whip this off real quick and we'll take a look at it. The other thing we did is, we remember it was leaking. If you saw the last video, here's its caliper that came off of it. Had a nice couple scorpions, dead ones, of course, because it's a Texas car. This, let's see, this piston here in the back and this one, that one's moving. That one's moving. Yeah, all the other ones are stuck. They're a little wobbly in place. And obviously it blew. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, I mean, I could rebuild the calipers, but I think she deserves new calipers. They look to be original. So we went into, actually I searched around and I went to Corvette Central. And Corvette Central has the conversions to the O-rings, but they're like $1,000, $320 of it being core charge, which of course you're gonna get back. So you're gonna end up at about $700. But you can get regular OEM style out of Napa or O'Reilly's. I've ordered them from Napa actually, that still have the lip seal. You know what I'm talking about, right? The pistons have an O-ring in them. For the O-ring seals, you can convert them on that. These have lip seals with the lips, but the lip seals can leak. I mean, these are done pretty well for the 40 some odd years that they've been on there. And I could, if I wanted to, rebuild these, but I think putting new ones on for now. What we're trying to get to is, we're just trying to get to a good baseline, make sure everything stops, and everything works well. We could also have upgraded, but the upgrade will come after we start to work with the suspension to get the motor on, because these got little dinky, what are they, 10-inch rotors. We're probably going to want to go to 11 or 12-inch rotors with this once we do all the improvements that we want to do on it in the series to make this a fire breather. And we'll do, you know, aluminum calipers with bigger slotted and drilled discs to stop it when we're going, because we're going to put some power onto this baby. And that's what we're looking at. So we're just going to go ahead. We're just going to order, already done it, new pads and new calipers. We'll put in new pads and new calipers in here. And then we'll get her to stop. We'll drive her around. We'll debug her a bunch. And then we'll start throwing performance parts at her. And once we throw the performance parts, we'll have a much better idea of what we need to do stopping wise. All right, so that's where we're at. We're going to pull this rotor off, actually. Let's go ahead and let's pull the castle nut off. And then let's go ahead and pop that rotor out. I'll put you guys up on the stand when I get there. And take a look at the bearings. Thinking that the bearings are fine. We'll do this on all the wheels. We've got hubs in the back, of course, because they're trailing arms. But on the front ones, we'll check out the bearings. Where is that cap? Of course, I've turned this so the cap's moved on me. So we'll just put the castle up there. All right, let's put you up on the stand. Get you guys up here. Up on the stand. Up on the roof. We'll do a little James Taylor. Okay. Put you down. At what we're doing. In a little bit. Yeah, you can see what's going on. All right, let's oh, there we go. A little dirty, but they're not wiggly or anything. They don't look worn. Maybe a little bit of play there. We might throw a new set of bearings at it. Got a little bit of play in there. See what the play is here. It's the inner race is moving in and out. It may have too much play in it. Yeah, look at that. I think we're gonna go down to Napa when we do this. We're gonna pick them up and get a set of bearings to fit this. All, you know, on the front, because that's moving in and out pretty good. Yes, sirree, Bob. The race on it looks fine. I don't think we have to replace the race. That bearing is a little, it might tighten up with grease, but it's a set of bearings, not a lot. Oh, there we go. Let's put it down. Take a look at the rear one. It's a bigger race. It feels okay. We'll pop that seal. We'll have to get seals when we do it too, because we'll pop the seal. Shaft races look fine. We'll clean them up. Look at all the gunkies in here. Yuck. Looks pretty good. So we'll do that on the front axles. We'll clean up all this. We'll go ahead and put new bearings, new seals on it while we're doing it. Might as well make it nice and tight. Seems how we're going to abuse it later on as we start to throw performance parts at it. All right, but that's where we're waiting for parts to come in. We're going to clean this up, blow it off, hit it with a quick brush. We'll go ahead and clean this up with solvent and stuff, and we'll clean the rotors up, of course, too. Pull that rear seal, put new seals, bearings, and seals in it. We'll go ahead and make sure that it's okay. The rotors look fine. There's no raising, a little bit of rust on it, but just because it's been sitting, we'll clean them off and get them in good shape. But that's where we're at. As soon as we get parts in, and we'll pull that other side apart, and we'll show you that one as well too. Once we get parts in, we'll go ahead and put it all back together, and we'll get this baby stopping. All right. Now that I have totally greasy hands, disgusting hands. Let me wipe my hands off. We had already put new hoses on it, right? Because when we initially were trying it, they were cracked, so we got those all taken care of. And the lines, you know, although they're old, and you know, here they are right here. I don't know if you can see me pointing at those. I'll grab you and we'll show you. The lines are okay. They look pretty solid. No leaks on them. The coiling that goes around them isn't even broken down on it. You can see it in there. Let's go ahead and put my hand in the way and turn the light on like usual. There you go. You can see it's just dirty. But they look fine. I mean, here it is here. There's nothing more bad about it. I mean, the nuts are a little worn. You can see people have been taking it off. They've probably done the brakes at least once on this thing. And had a little rub in here from something. I'm not sure what. But that's where we're at. All right, so let me get some parts in. I'll prep that other side. We'll show you that when we got it off. And we'll come right back. Okay, 4 calipers. Off. Ghost. Okay, and I think they're all serviceable, to be honest with you. This is the one over here off of the passenger side. That's the cylinder. If you look down in there, it's not in bad shape. These could be cleaned up and rebuilt, actually, I think. So here's a piston and spring out of it. New seals. Now we got the new calipers, whole pile of parts over there, right? There are the new calipers. I got new front bearings and all new brake pads all around and wheel seals for the front, because we're gonna repack these, clean these up and do the rotors, clean everything up anyways. The question then is, do I send these in for my core deposit? The core deposit's $44 for each of these calipers out of Napa. So times 4, $160, $180, somewhere in there. You'll get back off your order. These may be worth keeping, hanging on to. What do you think? Because they're rebuildable. They're original Delcos. They're not replacement ones. If you needed backup, you could go through, recondition these yourself with a kit. I think you can even get the conversion kit to change them over to O-rings versus the lip seal, O-ring seal versus the lip seal. And they would send the pistons and the new things for that. So I may hang on to those. We'll see. It's only 160 bucks. I mean, really? For a new set of rotors. Now, remember, we've already talked about the fact that when we get the performance really going on this, we may end up going to bigger rotors and lighter calipers, aluminum ones. So that, you know, I'll think about it a little bit and then decide what we're going to do here. But these could be good backups for other vet projects, or backup for this if we want to hang on to them. Otherwise, we can bring them back and get a core deposit back. Anyways, that's where we are. We're going to go ahead and get them all matched up to where they need to go, the new calipers. Get everything cleaned up with some generous amounts of brake clean and wire brush and scruffy pad, and we'll get things going here. All right, so sit tight. We'll be right back. All right, so we cleaned up the rotors and we put the new bearings and the new bearing seals in the back, right? And we packed the bearings, so they're good. What we're going to do is we're going to throw it on now. And all we did was we hit this with brake clean, so it's pretty clean. And then we took a green scrunchie into this in the front side just to clean up the rotors a little bit. The pads will do the rest. And we put those in there. So let's go ahead and put that on. We've got to pack the front bearing, put the castle nut on, and then I'll go ahead and just do the other side. We'll wrap the fronts up. The backs are a little easier because they just need to put those on. We're not pulling the hubs off of those to inspect those at all. We're just going to run with them. Basically because I can't get them off unless I work with the e-brake to do that. Let's move you guys in, make sure you can see. Okay, and you've seen this 100 times, I'm sure. No big deal with it. Just put this on, right, and then I'm going to put the front bearing in, but we're going to pack it first. So let's go ahead and put this on. Slide it in there. Come on. There we go. Nice and in. And we're going to go and put some gloves on. Got our grease right here. We've also gone and we ID'd all the new calipers and moved them and positioned them into the wheel. Just had to make sure they were, you know, because they're numbered. The way that they did that is they're all numbered. And if I had a reference to the number, I'd know which one went to wheel. I just brought it down and, you know, oh, we got to have the bleeders up, and we have to have the input position such that you can hit to the current line. So that's what I did. Everything's found and in good shape. Go ahead and pack one of these bearings, the front bearing. Okay, and there's lots of ways, you know, 100,000 different ways to pack the bearings. I do it pretty simply here. And I got these from Napa. They also include the races, the new races, but we're not switching the races. The races on these are pretty good, so I'll keep these for potential use. Okay, and the other ones, you know, checking these new ones, they have about the same play as the old ones, so the old ones are probably good, but it never hurts to, when you're getting into this in the front end, to do it. Now what I do when I pack mine is I'm going to go around the edges, and I'm gonna push it into the bearings and rotate it while I do that, okay? Because when I do that, it's going to pull some of the grease into the interior of the bearing, and you can see it because it'll start to come into the front. And then what I'll do is I'll pack the edges right here where the bearing faces come together. We'll pack some in there, and then on the back here we'll go ahead and pack some of this right in through this crack as well. Make sure it's all in there, you know, and then I put my fingers in and I rotate it, and I look for bare spots on the needles for the bearings. Like right here, there's some needles, some dry spots, so we'll go ahead and we'll make sure that they're covered. Do some more here. Make sure that you pack it in there. It doesn't have to be super tight, as long as you put a lot of grease in there. Now I also have a bearing, one of those double plate ones that you can do. You can put your grease gun on and it'll go ahead and pump into the middle of the bearing. But you know, these are full seated races inside, so it won't be quite as effective using that. Then the other thing I do is I'm going to come in here. Yep, that's going to try and fall off, and we'll put some grease up on the race like that. Push this back on. Okay, then we're going to slip the bearing right on there, push it in there. We got grease up in here. Make sure we're off the face so we're not making a big mess. Okay, and we got that perfectly greased. Okay, and I was taught how to do this by a guy by the name of Jim Shivers. Jim was a mechanic. He worked at one of the local shops where I lived. And I lived here in Massachusetts, just in a different part of the state, about an hour away from here. And great guy, Jim. He taught me how to do all this stuff. He had he'd done several. I mean, he was, you'll know, like me, constantly turning stuff over. But his pride and joy was a 57 Chevy Nomad, all original. Great shape, excellent shape. He kept it in great shape. Had a lot of fun working on that with him. And he had a 60 something or other Triumph Bonneville 650. He called it Thumper, because you could hear it thump, 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 thump. When it was running, it was pretty cool, actually. So you then put the washer in here like this, and then the castle nut. Now, how Jim taught me to do this was, when you're putting the castle nut on, to tighten it all the way down as tight as you could get it initially to get everything to seat, and then back it off, and then retighten it again to its just snug, and then go an extra turn to get you to where you can insert your cotter pin. Come on, get lined up there. There we go. And I'm sure there's many different ways where people have done it, where it's, you know, take it down and then just so it won't move, and then back it off to hit your cotter pin. But he taught me the other way. But first was to tighten it right down. And you can do it with whatever you got. I've got a pair of channel locks here, so we're going to tighten that down with the channel locks right down to make sure everything's seated. Yeah, see, it's tight, it's hard to turn. Okay, so now what we're going to do is Go ahead and back it off a little bit. Ow! These channel locks are trying to pinch me. They're slipping out of their casing. There we go. And turn it so it's looser. There we go. Now I'm going to tighten it down again. Let's see if we can't back it all the way off for a second first and find out where those pinholes are. Right there's one of them. Okay. So right here. Right where that grease mark is. Finger tight, give it a twist. Okay, so we're going to bring this one around a little bit more. A little bit more. You should have one pretty close to that. Are we in there yet? Yep, right there. Switch over. To my lineman pliers. Use that to push in. Goes through. There we go. Fully seated in. Yep, put it in backwards. Usually want to put the long side out. I got the long side in, so let's turn it, let's pull it out. Turn it around and re-put it in so that the long side is, there we go. That way you can just grab the long part of the pin, bend it up and over just like that, and then you can bend that in, or in this case we're going to bend it over and back because it's going to interfere with the grease cap if I do that. So we're going to do that with both ways. There we go. Then we got the grease cap. Right up, oh, down here. It's on there good and tight. Yeah, it's not moving at all. Bingo bunny. There we go. What I'm going to do is mount the caliper, put the new brake things in, and we go and we bleed it. But let's do that. I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll do the same thing with the calipers. I'll put one on the front, one on the back for you, and then we'll go and we'll do the other so that you see how that goes. So we'll be back in just a minute here, and we'll do the caliper on this side, and we'll be good to go. All right, let's do the caliper. This is the caliper for this side. Like I said, we already checked it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-install the flexi pipe. Now this came, the excuse me, calipers came with the slider pins and clips. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to reuse those. We're going to use the new ones rather than the old ones. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that we have the correct one. Front passenger, it says. Let's make sure, because we want to make sure that the bleeder's up. And yes, that's into there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to install the flexi hose first, and then we'll route it underneath. Make sure your copper washer's on there. Turn that in. It takes a 5/8. We're going to give it a good tweak. So we don't get any leaks. Like that. Oh, you know I forgot the bolts for that. Let me go grab them. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. And the clip. Gonna need that. When we put that, connect that hose, I'm gonna need the 3/8 too. Forgetting lots of stuff. Tools. Forgetting the tools. Okay. So this is gonna go right like this. I'm gonna put this, line it up, the right spot. They're in there, come on. There we go. Bolt in. Second bolt in. Use this. The only problem with this, I got this brown one that's kind of a medium duty, and I like it. I like to keep knocking the thing off though. Okay. Nice and tight. Here, this one. This. Get in there. Oh, you know what? Probably don't need the extension for that. If I remember correctly, should be able to fit this right in there on that one. No? No. All right, let's rotate it out. It's being a pain. Oh, let's rotate this a little bit. Okay. Now let's try it. Yeah, there we go. Nice and in there, good and tight. Okay. Gotta get the pads in there. These are all preloaded. We use a screwdriver to push those pistons back. We'll get one in, drop it, and then do the other one back, and then we'll go ahead and we'll connect that. Let me grab the pads. See, I'm forgetting everything. Okay, shoes. Inches to tighten up the fittings. Open this box up and get the pin out. There we go. I have the old pins too, but might as well use the new ones, right? Nice and clean. Crisp and clean and no caffeine. Do 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 do. Open these pads up. Got two sets. Take all the same pad. These are nice ceramic adhesed ones. They're not riveted. Okay. Nice clean screwdriver. Use these two pads. Make sure we don't touch the friction surface. Okay, and save those other two pads for the other side. Oh, they got built-in anti-squealers on it. Anti-squeal surfaces. One of our parents. For the child care, you heard me reference that. Come on, reload. Get all the way in there. Do. Okay, there's one. Come down there. Take that up. Come on, get in there. Get over there. Of course, if you don't drop them in even Steven, proper technique. Okay, so obviously I've forgotten my technique for getting pads in. So let me come back, rather than you guys watch me struggle here. We'll do a good one on the next one. Okay, we're back. So the proper way to do this is with the caliper off. Go ahead and put your pads in, right? And from the top, squeeze them all the way over, compress the thing, slip the top edge onto the rotor, and then you can push it down and slide it in. Now what we need to do is it's already lined up, sitting in its spot. We're going to put the bolts in it and then hook it up, and we'll be in good shape. It will self-center as it does it. Everything goes and does that. So that's the appropriate way to do it. If you try to just slip the pads in, ain't gonna cut it. So let's go ahead and get you guys set back up on the stand here. Been a while since I changed brakes on a Vette. Let's go ahead and get the bolts back in it. Slide it up a little bit. Get this lined up. There we go. Bolts in. Bottom bolt in. Here's our impact driver again. Get that baby on there. Oh, get the light out of the way. Got that on there. Okay. Brand new rotor. Not rotor. Caliper with new pads. Fits well. Good fit. Okay, now we're going to take this line and run it up to where it goes. I'll move you guys back a little bit and to the other side. What do you think? We'll go you to the other side here. There you go. You guys are loose on my tripod. Tilt you up just a little bit. Get some light on this over here. clip up here. So let's go ahead and route this up. Put it up here. Get it seated like that. We'll put the clip in it. There we go. Tap it on. That. And line up this brake. Now when you first start it, I'll use a regular. Then when I go to tighten it, I'm going to switch over to a pipe fitting wrench so that we don't strip off the nut here. Just like that. Okay, now let's take this one and tighten it up. So we got 4 sides. Don't strip it out. Nice and seated. There you go. Good and tight. Okay. There we go. Everything is tight. It's been cleaned up. This will of course polish it once it starts rotating. You can hear it. That's friction. That's not metal. It's all clear. It's not hitting anywhere. We've got the flexi pipe in. We got our bleeder right here. We'll go ahead and we'll bleed it when we're ready to go. There it is. It's got all new bearings on it. Now I'll go and I'll do the other side, get that done off camera, and then when I go to do the rear, I'll show you a rear one, and then do that one off camera. All right, so we'll be back, so hang tight. All right, so here's an example of putting the rear caliper on. The other one on. Yep, let's drop those. Why not? I mean, come on. Make sure we're set here. We are. Okay. So we're going to put the pads in, just like we did on the front ones. We're going to do the back ones here. And the biggest problem, like I was saying, was trying to get the bolts to line up once it's in. Just trying to make that happen. Okay. Let's try and get this done. Alright, so the, I don't know if you can see it from there, but the pistons are out, right? So I'm going to take, set this in here. We're going to take that, set that in there. We're going to stick the pin through. This is the outside. Let me make sure that I have it correct. Yes, there's the back. You just pop that right in there like that. Pop the clip on like that. Okay, now what I do is I just take and I push on them, get this one flat, like that, and then I get the other one flat, and they'll bounce back, but that's just to get them exercised a little bit. Like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is you can either hook the back or you can hook the front of the caliper of the shoes when you compress one or the other. So pick the one you want, and then you'll slide it down on it because it's hard to compress them both. You got to come from the top, because if you try to go from the bottom, your hands will get in the way. Make sure that the things are straight so that you can press on it. And just got to make sure you line them up. Press all the way in. And of course, your light's always in the way. biggest part about this is just making sure you're lined up with the rotor so that they'll line up and fall on there. Ugh, get in there. Get in there. And then struggle with it until you get them everything lined up. There we go. And of course, I'm trying to do this on camera, so it's going to be difficult. And not line up for me. Because, hell, why should it? You can also put clamps on it and clamp it over, right? But, fine, you want to be that way? Let's do the back ones then. Do the back. Slide the back on. Come on. Get over there. Come on. There we go. There we go. There you go. And then it just drops in place once you do that. Once you just get the pad started, it will just fall into where it's supposed to go. And then other than that, it's, of course, I forgot the bolts. Go get the bolts. Stick the bolts in. Grab your cup of coffee that you left over there. Take a big swig of it for the next struggle, which is these bolts. Let's see. Line them puppies up. Do you get as lucky? Oh, that one looks like it might have went right in. I would be astounded if it did. Yeah, wishful thinking. There we go, that one lined up. You don't tighten either, just get them finger tight in there. Get started. Yep, that one started. Let's go ahead and take the socket for it, put it on there. And tighten it a little bit by hand. Yeah. Like that. Get that one. And tight. There we go. Now we'll come down to this one. Move this around a little bit. Get that to line up. Hopefully. Yep. That one lined up. Tighten that one up a little bit. Of course, the light's never in the right place. It's all shadowy dark back there anyways. Make sure that we've got that attached correctly. And of course this one goes onto this hard. So, come on. Got that one in there. Of course, the hat gets in the way too because, you know, if you can't block vision, why not? Block vision. Oh, come on. I love this Braun. It's, you know, it's a medium torque power. The only problem I have with it is the anvil. I don't know whether they didn't machine it or it's my sockets or what, but they don't like to go on. There we go. Now let's see if we can get this puppy in there. Might need a short one. Yep, yep, yep. Need the short extension. You know, nothing can ever be easy. If I use a long extension, it's too long and it like goes too far back. We can try it though. Yeah, see, it's already close to the gas tank, so I don't know. Maybe it'll, there we go. Check it. Oh yeah, it's all the way up. So there we go. And the other thing is just to pop in the brake line. And of course you got to get those thread matched too, because that'll be difficult for you, because what the hey? Why not? Because, you know, why would we want to just go right in and not provide challenges? There we go. That caught. All right. That's it. Not too hard. Just can be difficult when it wants to. All right. So we'll come back in just a little bit and we'll bleed these puppies and see if we can get some brakes on it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and try and bleed these. We're going to use this $30 bleeder here kit from Harbor Freight. We're going to check and see how it does. Right here, we're just going to use the main. The other one's a refill bottle, but it's set up to work on the more modern one. So we'll go ahead and we'll attempt this and see how we go here, and see if we can make it work. Oh yeah, look at that, drawing it right up. Look at that. Holy moly. Let's go check our reservoir and see how that's doing. That drew it right up. And the Corvette, the rear ones have, oh, we got plenty of fluid in there. We'll just keep going for a little bit. Make sure that we get everything through the system. The Corvette, the rears have dual bleeders. You do the back bleeder first, then the front bleeder to do that. And then on the front ones, they're just singles that pull it through the entire system. So let's keep going. Pulling it through, you can see it. Now if it's just pulling air and liquid. Yeah, we're getting liquid in the bottom. Let's put a little liquid in this container. Let's go check our reservoir. Put some liquid in that container and make sure that we're pulling enough, or check the liquid level rather. Yeah, it's pulling it down. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's put you on the stand so you're not so jittery with my hand. There you go. Oh, that looks like we're getting solid fluid now. You can feel it moving. Hardly any bubbles. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and close this one off. I'm going to go on to the front one. Make sure that this bleeder's tight. Effectively one full turn so it's loose. Let's put this one on here. Pull some from the front. While that's pumping up, let's go check the fill. Be right back. Drawing it down. Keep going. It looks like it's solid now. No bubbles. Let's close this off. And I'll get somebody up to verify it too, because we'll do a pedal test, but I'll bring you guys on for that. But here we go. See the fluid down in there. See it sloshing around in the bottom. All right, I'm going to do that 4 more times, and then we'll come back and see what the test is like. So hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, she's got brakes. I didn't show you the intermediary stuff. We had them all bled. We took it out. I got pedal. Now it's still a little bit soft, so we'll probably go ahead and probably do a re-bleed here. I'm just walking around to show you that all the wheels are back on. Everything is working and bleeding. And I also wanted to talk a second about this, and you'll see it in a separate announcement called a project service announcement. This is the Pittsburgh vacuum bleeder. Here's the box right here. I got it from Harbor Freight. It's their cheapest. It was like $29.99, so 30 bucks basically. And it comes with the main vacuum unit where you put your air hose on it, causes a venturi, and it starts to suck. It worked real well. It pulled out stuff out of the master cylinder, filled all the lines up with it. Now the Vette has 4 calipers on 4 pistons on each of the calipers for the wheels. So that did 95% of the work, pulled everything through the lines, got them all bled, got all the air out. But I think why I had to go back, and we did do a person in, and you know the regular way that you do it, step on, pump up the brakes, go ahead and do it. But it only took like, I don't know, less than 10 minutes to do that part of it on all 4 wheels, because we pulled the majority of the liquid through with the vacuum system. On this, because it's got the 4 pistons in the caliper, I think it leaves a little bit of air in there. It doesn't quite fill up all the piston housings with that. So we had to go back and do it. But from a project service announcement, that's a good tool. If you have drum brakes, and I'm going to try it on Laverne, I'm pretty sure, because of the way that the slave cylinders on those are made, you'll go right through and you probably won't have to do the repump. Everything will bleed straight out for you on that. So as part of a project service announcement, it's a good product. If you want to shorten your time for doing brakes, I recommend it. They didn't give it to me or anything. I paid full price, so it's not a endorsement for them from the perspective of they're supporting the video. I'm just telling you, it worked, and it worked pretty well. All right, so the other thing, we got this thing going. It does wicked burnouts. You want to see? Well, let me go ahead and show you. And she's a 2-wheeler. Look at that, left rubber. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. Heavy rubber. Now it is wet, so we got a good one out of it, but I did it when it was dry. And she cranks, let me tell you. She's gonna be a burner, so we'll have a lot of fun with her. Now we're gonna finish the work on her, with her here. But we got the brakes all set with her, and she's really tearing it up, as you can see. We got the other things that we need to go through. So that's where we're at. And we'll be back. So hang tight. Okay, so the brakes are done. She's parked. We may tweak her a little bit on the brakes, but not a whole lot. They work pretty well. And they're getting firmer and firmer the more I use it, which means any air in the system is starting to break down and get out of there. But, you know, if we need to, we'll tweak it. So, that's where we're at. We got the other stuff that we need to do. I'm going to end this video right here for this one, for the brake work. So she's together mechanically in terms of driving and going. And next thing we'll do is get into the interior, clean her up, make sure that we got lights, make sure that we got seat belts and all that type of stuff, so that we can get her roadworthy and get her on the road and do the stuff for checking out. Hey, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching this. Do all that jazz for me. I would appreciate it. It helps us a lot with the channel. Let people know that we're out there. We're going to have a lot more fun and interesting content coming up with Ghost and with the other projects that we have there. But we appreciate you guys. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you real soon with another one.